Have you ever felt like life has pushed you to a dead end, where the road ahead looks unclear and the past feels too heavy to carry? Have you wondered if it's too late to start over, to rebuild, and to create something better for yourself? Here's the truth. Reinvention has no age limit. Whether you're 25 or 65, you can step into a brand new chapter starting today. If you're ready to let go of the weight that's been holding you back and build a life that feels powerful, purposeful, and fresh, this is for you. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because here we talk about real strategies to transform your mindset and your life. 1. Letting go of the old chapter. You cannot step into the future while clinging to the past. Starting over requires a conscious decision to release the weight of old mistakes, regrets, and even outdated versions of yourself. Many people carry their past like a badge of identity, but the truth is, it's a chain. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means acknowledging what's been, learning from it, and choosing not to be defined by it. This is one of the most challenging emotional transitions because we often mistake the comfort of the known, even if it's painful, for safety. The past is predictable, the future is uncertain, but certainty is not the same as fulfillment, and familiarity is not the same as peace. Imagine your life as a bookshelf. Some books are done. You've read the lessons, you've felt the emotions, but now they need to be closed so you can make space for new stories. This process can be uncomfortable because the past feels familiar, even when it's painful. But you cannot grow in a room that is already full of old furniture. You can dust it, rearrange it, and pretend it's different, but deep down, you know it's the same space. Real transformation requires the courage to clear the room entirely, not just redecorate the walls of your old reality. One reason people struggle to let go is because they fear losing their sense of self. If I'm not the person who went through that heartbreak, that failure, that betrayal, then who am I? We become attached to our scars as proof that we've lived, but when those scars become our identity, they also become our prison. You are not your pain. You are not your past choices. You are not the sum of other people's opinions about you. The moment you accept this truth, you begin to feel the first taste of freedom. Letting go doesn't mean pretending it never happened. It means honoring it for what it taught you, and then refusing to carry the emotional baggage forward. Some memories will always be with you, but they don't need to be active forces shaping every decision. Think of it like an old photograph, something you can look at occasionally to remember where you came from, but not something you hold in your hand every single day. Carrying the past into your future is like carrying a heavy bag through an endless journey. Eventually, your strength will give out, not because you're weak, but because you were never meant to drag yesterday into tomorrow. One practical way to start letting go is through intentional rituals of closure. Write a letter you'll never send, expressing everything you wish you could say to that old version of yourself, that person you once loved, or that dream that didn't work out. Then destroy it, tear it up, burn it, or bury it as a symbolic act of release. Another method is to physically change your environment. Rearrange your space, donate items tied to the old chapter, or even take a trip somewhere new to signal to your mind that you are in a different season of life. These small symbolic acts can have a profound psychological effect because they communicate to your subconscious that the old chapter is closed and the new one has begun. Ultimately, letting go is not a one-time event. It's a daily choice. Some days you'll feel completely free, and other days the memories will creep back in, whispering that maybe you made a mistake. In those moments, remind yourself why you chose to move forward. Your life is not happening in reverse, it is unfolding ahead of you. And every time you resist the temptation to go back to what's familiar but unhealthy, you strengthen the foundation of your new chapter. 2. Rebuilding identity. When you let go of the old, there's a moment of emptiness, and that's powerful. This is where you get to decide who you want to be, not who you've been told to be. Reinvention starts with asking yourself, what values matter to me now? What kind of person do I want to become? What kind of life do I want to wake up to? This is not about creating a fantasy version of yourself that feels impossible to achieve. It's about realigning with what truly matters to you. The space left by letting go of the old is not a void to fear, it's fertile ground for new growth. Your identity is not a fixed label, it's a story you can rewrite. Maybe you've been the person who always played it safe, the person who let fear dictate decisions, or the person who lived for other people's approval. Now, you have the chance to rebuild an identity that is authentic, bold, and aligned with your deepest truth. But this requires brutal honesty with yourself. You must confront the ways you've betrayed your own values in the past, not to shame yourself, but to ensure you don't repeat those patterns in the future. Rebuilding identity also means exploring your core values. If you don't know what you stand for, it's easy to be swayed by trends, pressures, and the opinions of others. Take time to define your non-negotiables. What behaviors, beliefs, and goals are so important to you that you would defend them even if no one else agreed? These values become your compass. Without them, reinvention turns into a cycle of superficial changes, new clothes, new hobbies, new jobs, without any real shift in who you are at your core. Another important aspect of identity building is allowing yourself to experiment. You don't need to know your final form before you begin. Try new activities, read different types of books, travel to places that push you out of your comfort zone, and connect with people who inspire you. Each new experience is like a brushstroke on the canvas of your evolving self. The key is to remain curious and adaptable, because the person you are becoming will change as your life expands. This is also the stage where you must break the habit of self-labeling. Statements like, "I'm just not that kind of person," or "that's not who I am," often keep us stuck in old versions of ourselves. You might not have been a risk taker before, but maybe now you can be. You might not have been confident before, but confidence is a skill you can develop. Your identity is fluid, and every day you have the chance to choose who you are going to be, regardless of your past. Finally, remember that rebuilding identity is not about pleasing the world. It's about aligning with your own truth. If you live by other people's expectations, you may gain their approval, but lose your own soul. And nothing, no relationship, no job, no amount of money is worth losing yourself for. When you reconstruct your identity on the foundation of your own values, your decisions become clearer, your confidence deepens, and you stop seeking constant validation from others. You no longer chase a role, you live your reality.
3. Taking small, powerful steps. Starting over can feel overwhelming if you look at the big picture all at once. The key is to break it down into small, consistent actions. Instead of trying to transform your life overnight, focus on the next meaningful step you can take today. One action, one habit, one choice. This approach removes the paralyzing weight of perfection and replaces it with the satisfaction of steady progress. It's not about giant leaps. It's about planting small seeds that will grow into a forest over time. Small steps compound into massive change. A single daily habit, like reading for 10 minutes, journaling, or exercising, can shift your mindset and momentum. Think of each step as a brick. You may not see the full house yet, but every brick you lay brings it closer to reality. The key is consistency. A habit practiced for 100 days will transform you more than a burst of motivation that lasts a week. Consistency builds trust in yourself, and that trust is the foundation for bigger leaps later. One of the most common mistakes when starting over is waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Life will always be messy. The right time to start is when it feels inconvenient, when you're still scared, when you still have doubts. By taking action in the midst of uncertainty, you teach yourself that progress is possible even without perfect conditions. This is the mindset that turns dreamers into doers. Another key principle is celebrating micro wins. We often delay our happiness until the big goal is achieved. But if you acknowledge your small victories along the way, you fuel your motivation to keep going. Finished a chapter of a book? Celebrate. Showed up for a workout even when you were tired? Celebrate. Stuck to a new habit for a week? Celebrate. These moments are proof that you are becoming the person you want to be, and they deserve recognition. Sometimes small steps will feel insignificant, especially when you can't yet see the results. But change is often invisible in the early stages. Seeds don't sprout the day you plant them, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Growth is taking place beneath the surface, and your job is to keep watering the seed even when you can't yet see the plant. This requires patience, and patience is a skill that will serve you in every area of life. In the end, the magic of small, powerful steps lies in their ability to reshape your identity and reality over time. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every choice either moves you closer to your vision or further away. When you understand that small actions are not just tasks, but identity statements, you stop underestimating their power. You realize that the life you want is not built in a single day. It's built daily.
4. Handling fear and uncertainty. Fear will try to convince you to stay where you are because change feels unsafe. The mind loves the familiar, even if the familiar is miserable. But here's the thing. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're entering new territory, and that's exactly where growth lives. In the Stoic view, fear is not your enemy, but a messenger, whispering that you've stepped into the unknown, where your old comforts no longer serve you. If you can recognize fear for what it is, an indicator of movement, you'll stop mistaking it for danger and start treating it as a companion on the path to transformation. Think about the last time you felt afraid of making a choice. Maybe it was starting a business, moving to a new city, ending a toxic relationship, or speaking up about something that mattered to you. The physical sensations, tight chest, restless thoughts, pounding heart, were your body's way of preparing for action. The problem is that many of us misinterpret those signals as warnings to retreat. The Stoics would say, you have control over your actions, not over outcomes. Fear thrives when we obsess about what we cannot control. The antidote is to focus on the choice right in front of you, not the 1,000 imagined disasters beyond it. Uncertainty can either paralyze you or excite you. You get to decide. Life, by its very nature, offers no guarantees, only opportunities disguised as risks. The truth is, no fresh start comes with a guarantee. But if you wait for perfect conditions, you'll wait forever. A farmer doesn't wait for the clouds to form perfectly before planting seeds. They sow in faith that the soil and the seasons will do their work. The same is true for your life. Plant your effort, nurture your choices, and trust that results will grow in their time. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward while fear tags along in the passenger seat, not the driver's seat. This is a discipline you build, not a feeling you wait for. You may never feel ready in the way you expect, but readiness is a myth. Commitment is real. Even when your hands shake, your voice cracks, or your confidence falters, you can still take the next small step. That step is what separates those who remain stuck from those who create new futures. When fear whispers, "What if you fail?" answer it with, "What if I learn?" Failure is not a verdict. It is data, a map showing you where to adjust. Uncertainty is the playground where innovation, growth, and self-discovery happen. Without it, you'd be living the same day over and over again until your life becomes a loop instead of a journey. Remember, the Stoic path is not about eliminating discomfort, but about mastering your response to it. In the end, handling fear and uncertainty is about building a relationship with them. Instead of treating them like robbers breaking into your home, treat them like travelers passing through, visitors who remind you that you're on the move. They will arrive, they will make you uncomfortable, and then they will leave. What stays is the strength you build by walking through their presence without surrendering your direction.
5. Thriving with a fresh start. Once you've let go, rebuilt your identity, taken consistent steps, and embraced uncertainty, something powerful happens. You stop surviving and start thriving. A fresh start is not just about escaping the past, it's about creating a life that lights you up. Surviving is about keeping your head above water. Thriving is about learning to swim toward a shore you choose. It's no longer about running from pain, it's about running toward purpose. Thriving means surrounding yourself with people and environments that uplift you. The Stoics were clear on this. The company you keep shapes the quality of your thoughts, and the quality of your thoughts shapes the quality of your life. Seek those whose presence sharpens your mind and expands your heart. Avoid the cynics and naysayers who drain your vision. This isn't about arrogance or superiority, it's about alignment. If you want to build a flourishing garden, you don't plant flowers in toxic soil. It also means choosing habits that energize you. The habits that carried you through survival mode may not serve you in thriving mode. Survival might require grit and caution, but thriving asks for curiosity, creativity, and joy. Make choices that strengthen your body, feed your mind, and nourish your soul. Read deeply, move daily, rest well. Create space for wonder. Small, intentional actions compound into a life that feels alive from the inside out. Celebrating progress instead of perfection is another hallmark of thriving. Perfection is a moving target. It shifts every time you get close. If you tie your sense of worth to flawless outcomes, you'll always feel one step behind. Instead, honor every milestone, no matter how small. A single day without self-sabotaging thoughts is progress. A week of consistent effort is progress. Even the decision to try again after a setback is progress. Thriving is not a straight line. It's a dance between effort, rest, and renewal. Allow yourself to dream bigger than your current reality suggests. Many people edit their dreams to match their circumstances. Thriving flips that. Shape your circumstances to match your dreams. This doesn't mean reckless fantasy. It means daring to imagine possibilities that make you a little nervous in the best way. The Stoics believed in living according to nature, and part of your nature is to grow, expand, and create. A dream that challenges you is a compass pointing toward your untapped potential. Finally, thriving with a fresh start means believing that no matter your age, your past, or your scars, you can live a story worth telling. Thriving isn't a gift reserved for the lucky. It's the result of intentional choices made over and over again. You have the ability to write chapters filled with courage, connection, and meaning. The past may explain you, but it does not define you. The present is your pen, and the future is your blank page. No matter where you are in life right now, You have the power to turn the page. The past does not own you, and the future is not fixed. It's waiting for you to write it. Start small, be consistent, and never underestimate your ability to rebuild stronger than before. If this message resonated with you, subscribe and join our community of people committed to growth and self-mastery. Your fresh start begins today. The only question left is, are you ready to take the first step?